Namaste, and welcome to TRC, the Renaissance Chronicles, where truth is shared to bring life and light to the dark areas of our lives, hailing us all in His name.
Welcome to the Renazance Chronicles. I am Renazance Christos, your spiritual advisor. Glad to be here with you. Again, thanking you for this opportunity to come into your computer or wherever we have this fellowship with and get some words of advice and some life that we can bring life and light into all of us. And it was so glad with the last show, the how and who, I love the message that we are putting together. And understand that, family, I am not perfect. I am walking this out just as you. And when I was studying, my path led to this particular chronicle, and the reason why the Renaissance Chronicles was birthed. And it was a three-fold chord plan that, when it's put together, gives you the opportunity to overcome any obstacles. Heard me? I said any obstacle. I'm talking about addiction. I'm talking about spiritual depravity. I'm talking about your soul not being able to be at rest. Because the whole thing is, if you think about it, the content of this chronicle is about three particular things. Do you wake in peace? Yeah. Do you rest in joy? And do you move in love? That's as simple as it is. It's been convoluted and disturbed, and we've been lied to. And family, I just want to start pulling back the layers of truth. Yeah, call this the Toto moment, all right? Think about the Wizard of Oz. And understand that this three-chord plan is a pathway that doesn't happen overnight. But think about a pathway. That's how we're going to start this show, just as we go back old school. If you were a kid and you grew up in the neighborhood back in the 70s or 80s, did you have like a little cut through where you can get from point A to point B, a little shorter, avoid traffic? Yeah, the path. Yeah, that's what we used to call it back in the days. There was a path in between my mom's house and my aunt's house, and I could have taken the main route, but this path was through these little brushes of trees and so forth. And you had to go through it, and there's overgrowth around you and so forth. And it wasn't always clear, but the path, when you got through it, you saw an opening. And the opening was to the other neighborhood where you were trying to get to. And the whole goal is to share a path. A lot of people like to share religions, their beliefs, their whatever they have. I personally want to simplify everything. That's right. Everything can be simplified into the TRE avenue. That's right, the tray. And it's not me. TRE can mean to realize everything, to recognize everyone. It's the things that helps clear up the pathway, but it's your path. And we each have our own individual experiences. That's the beauty of this show. It's not about me knowing all. It's about you back there at home or wherever you are talking back to me. Because when we talk, that's a little spiritual conversation. And don't think somebody say, well, he's crazy or she's crazy. Family, it's okay. That's why I have these little gaps in between. It's intentional, but also it's to give you a chance to think for a second, because a pathway is a shorter way to access, safe route, not always cleared, but it gets us to our destination. And we've been traveling their paths for every year. We've gotten degrees. We've got millionaires, got billionaires, but we're still on the same path. Haven't you figured that out? Let's get off the path. And the way we're going to get off the path is through three things. And this show is going to be short. That's what I like about it. The pathway is threefold. All right? It starts with good thoughts, followed by good words, and then ultimately received by good deeds. Yeah, that's what everything henceforth coming from this chronicle, for yours truly, will have that concept, because they've given us these set of advices and principles that we've been trying to live by, and we haven't achieved anything. But with this pathway, family, I can promise you, heaven on earth. If you don't believe me, let's just try it for 7 days. That's right. Try to focus on good thoughts. Try to let good words come out of your mouth. and try to follow it up by good deeds. Not ones to be seen, but things that can impact people's lives. That's what it's all about. Progress, not perfection. That's the quote of the show, okay? Progress, not perfection. But if you get on the pathway, you'll get through. The good thoughts, that's the first thing. And we're going to break this down into a show where each of them will have their own more in-depth study, because we're going to study it and we're going to start to walk up this path as we're studying it, okay? If you're with me, just try it. Remember, 7 days. You got that. And you don't have to tell nobody. That's the good thing about it. It's you. You're practicing. Good thoughts. That's the premise of life. Everything starts with a thought. And in my studies, I can say conscious evolution is what the path that I've been on. I'll share that with you. And you can kind of study and look it up, but it's not easy. It's rigorous. You go through a lot of ups and downs. You got to go through a lot of people leaving you high and dry. But throughout this good thoughts, I know who's always with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Just like the verse that's going to be our premise of talking about get to this path of peace and joy from good thoughts is Psalms 91. Think about that one as our premise of how we're going to break down the teaching. It says, whoever dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of his wings. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Come on. Dwell. Yeah, you go to your house and dwell. You go to your job and dwell. You go to these different places and dwell. Why don't you go to the secret place and dwell? And here's the key to that. Now, we'll keep moving. I'm not going to keep, I want this one to be short and you to just start thinking about it. To dwell in the secret place, say, Renazance, how? I was like, here. But here's the secret. You got to be quiet. Yes, that's what I said, people. You're going to have to start being quiet a little bit more. That's right. In order for those thoughts to dwell in the secret place and you can abide under the shadow and get refuge and fortress, you got to do that. You got to control what's inside of you in order to remain in order. You got to remove fear one day at a time. Train the mind and your body, it's going to follow the thoughts. Get it? And when I break down, I saw The Wiz, not The Wizard of Oz, but The Wiz. And that show is going to help us understand thoughts. I'm going to rip back the veil and we're going to take over our own lives. We're going to change our own destiny. We're not worried about the dollar amount and how much they make gas go up and we have to pay for all these losses, because family, we're taking the loss. Yeah, we're taking the loss of people not wanting to go back to work or get the jab or whatever you call it. We're taking the loss. And I'm like, hold up, we can change this if we start getting people to doing good thinking. Then they follow by a good communication system, a clear communication system that conveys assurance, protection, and deliverance. Think about that. How can words deliver? Think about it. Words deliver messages, do they not? So 1 Corinthians is the first verse that came to my mind, and I didn't need the whole thing, but I was like, it says, though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not charity, I am nothing but mere noise and chatter. Turn on your local news and you'll find out. You'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. And therefore, you can understand when your thoughts start to become pure and better, then the words that'll come out will follow suit. And you can start to change things. And here's some quick ways if you want to start doing it right now and practice on the good words. Read more positive stories. Repeat them to others. Tell people about it. And imitate what you are reading. Yeah, I said imitate it. Family, it's what I did in the classroom. I took people, not me per se, but my father and me, took people who were struggling and could not read on grade level. And they went from reading below grade level to on grade level at least within 4 months. As a teacher, it wasn't me, it was them. They learned about words and they started appreciating them. And then I taught them to speak, and that's about breathing and opening your mouth. To my family in the South, I love you. I've been up north and people do not know where I'm from. I am from the South, born and bred. However, I've learned the value of words, therefore I open up. I talk to some people on a nightly basis and they're talking and they're biting words and they're thinking that it's clear communication. And I was like, wow, we really do this. Family, I was talking to my African Americans. We got to open our mouths up and let every word out, not be in a rush. Good words, they spread good thoughts, they bring good life. Think about it. So change that up. And journal writing. Folks, I'll show you something before the end of the show. Journal writings, don't think of it as something a weak thing, but think of it as something that's positive and strong. You can put your words in writing so you can eliminate excuses. And the art of less is more. We're going to enjoy good words. I promise you, it's going to be about speaking with the tongue of men and of angels. You have both possibilities in you. Say it right now. Say, I am enough. Say it one more time. I am enough. That's right, family. It doesn't matter what you've been doing for the past 20-something years, or whether you think you're perfect, or whether you think you're a Christian, or whether you think your father, whatever you call God. That's what I use. That's just my term. But don't think that you're out of order. You can't get back. No, that's the hoodwink. You just have to change your thoughts. Then your words start to have better ability to communicate and convey, that is, assurance, protection, and deliverance. Yes, I'm here to deliver you, and we're going to follow it up finally by good deeds. Beautiful part. Good deeds are the actions or participations with other souls like yourself. Listen to the end part. To achieve success with no opposition. You get that? That's like playing a game and whoever's against you, they have no chance of winning. Because you are guaranteed that, because your deeds are following your thoughts and your words, and so therefore you cannot lose. And the verse that I came up with was from Mark, that's Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 and 16. And listen to the beginning, because it's giving you a warning. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruits you will recognize them. Fruits mean their deeds and their behaviors and the type of industries they're setting up and running and the type of companies and organizations they say they're doing. You'll know them by their deeds. Do I need to say more? Because you can look right in front of you, and if you do watch a lot of this TV, you'll see the deeds they're putting in front of you in plain sight. My job is to peel back the layers so we can see this and so we can better up our lives and we can level up. The good deeds, the basic thing is to stay basic as an ant. Be diligent, always. I love that part about the ant. We'll get into more of that with Proverbs. You got to train the proper muscles for the upcoming test of strength. If you're a runner, if you're training for the hurdles, you don't train the same way that you do for long distance. You don't train the same way you do for sprint. You train your muscles specifically for the event you're participating in. But at the same time, you're building up other muscles. Folks, it works. Good deeds. And you got to know your value. I'll share this quick thing and we'll close this out. The good values that I'm talking about, it's a fancy word. It's called efficacy. I'll put it down there. And it reminded me of efficient, so I kept studying the word, and it was like, no. Efficacy means you know your value, despite whatever the hourly rate you're getting paid. Some of us have never made $100,000 in our life. Does that make you any less of a person? No. Some of us have never owned a home. Some of us don't have a car right now. Some of us are homeless. Does that make you any less? No, because you have to see yourself as worthy. I've worked at a job and right now I'm making below $10 an hour. I'll be blunt with you. But it's not the first time I've done it before. And at my age, you would think, man, you know better than that, Renazance. You don't do that. You could go out and get a job as a teacher and do this and make this money. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I could do a lot of things, but my value isn't placed upon the dollar amount I'm getting at the moment. It's placed on the value that when I go to work. I work like I'm making $20 an hour. I'll share that with you. So it doesn't matter the job situation. It matters about what I know about me. At the end of the day, I'll get what is mine. And that's the whole purpose of this show, so we can all start to receive our rewards and enjoy heaven on earth. Do you love that? This is called the good life, family. It's called the TRE path. So good life. Stay with that. And as I was talking about writing, I just want to show you that I'm not joking with you about writing, and I brought some things out and show you the effects of writing so that you get why I love the Chronicles. This journal right here is written somewhat in 2006 and in 2021. Has a lot of notes and things, and I go back and read it from time to time. This journal right here was written in 2008 and then some of 2017 and 2020. Different episodes of my life and things that I've been through. Here's another one. Family, 2004, 2006, and 19. Family, I keep up and I get a chance to go back and reflect on the things. So when I share a chronicle, it's not just me talking. This was 2012, 2017 through 19. And this is the one that started it all. 2001 through 2003. Family, I'm able to go back and look at my own mistakes and my own shortcomings and see what my value was and how I was operating. And from that time, I've learned how I can grow. And I want to help us go and get the good life. And if you want to know what the good life is, GOoD stands for greatness over obstacles daily. I'll change it up to greatness overcoming obstacles daily. I like that better, family. So let's go enjoy the good life. And of course, please share this chronicle, because right now when we get good bread, the job is to share it with someone else who hasn't. And I ask you for this video specifically, as we start the good life, remember, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Selah, the Renazance Chronicles.
The invisible agent has been released, infecting and killing millions in every country, nation, and city streets. Breathing is now difficult for all who fall. Innocent victims to a eugenics biological brawl. Empty store shelves, insurrections, and financial chaos. With the blind misleading the blind, both are already lost. You said isolation is the remedy and solution. Stimulus checks were the price we paid for apathy and mental health delusions. Let me inject love as a vaccine and the only cure. But no more of that fake stuff. Got to be real, authentic, and pure. Our leadership is coming from those seldom seen, voicing the truth, not some social media dream scene. From these few moments, be smart, intelligent, and play it safe. Even Anne Frank stayed mentally free, cooped up in that attic space. Hurricane Matthew came to the flow and released this revelation. Inhale deeply and let your mind space get rehabilitating. Read more, love free, and strengthen your mind. It's your passport to the new earth after the COVID-19. Peace. New earth.
Praises and continual thanks to everyone who shared in this moment of refreshing water, bringing life and light to our souls. This has been TRC, the Renazance Chronicles, a Hustle Flow Media production.